Welcome to Web Handling. My name is Dave Roysum. I am super excited to continue our new series on finding things. In this show, I describe the very best collections of web handling knowledge, books. But because there are so many to choose from, I will curate a few that you simply must have on your bookshelf. Most everything and most every effort, such as buying books, should have clear reasons. I will give you 3. Books are good, fast, and cheap. Beginning with good. Technical books can be trusted because authors are the most experienced and knowledgeable that the industry has to offer. Their books are vetted, refereed, and edited by professional publishers, and their work is checked by readers. That is not necessarily so with Google searches. While technical material on the web is often decent, especially in web handling, it doesn't have to be. Books are also fast. You can often find what you need within a minute or two of looking through the table of contents or index. What about Google, which we will talk about more in detail shortly? Isn't it also fast? Like finding results in milliseconds? However, if you put a stopwatch on your entire search, you will find it also takes a couple of minutes to try a couple of search terms and browse through the results. However, Google and other search engines have serious handicaps related to web handling, which we will reveal shortly. Finally, books are cheap, typically on the order of $200. Compare that to a single wound roll reject by a customer. That could be on the order of $2,000. Worse yet, a mistake on a single motor, guide, or other component can easily cost 10 times as much, perhaps $20,000. By mistake, I mean buying a motor when it's not needed, or not buying a motor when it is needed, or buying the wrong motor. Google or other search engines are ever present on our computers, tablets, smartphones, and now even watches. Why not start there first? Perhaps no harm in trying, but I will give you 2 reasons why this might not work for you. The first is that the great majority of web handling works are either behind paywalls or, worse yet, not on the internet at all. In other words, on paper, like most books and magazine articles. Worse yet, many of our most important search terms have more common usage that fill the search results first. Just as a single example, consider a search on the most common waste, delay, and complaint item in the web industries, wrinkles. If you search on wrinkle, the first page will be filled with Botox treatments. Yes, there are workarounds that a professional search librarian using a special database can use. However, the average person doesn't have the time, skills, or access to these special tools. In short, while Google might be fast, it is far from trustworthy or complete for common web manufacturing, converting, and web handling searches. There are more than 24 web handling books, and there are dozens of web handling related books. So, which ones would be most useful for your troubleshooting and your trouble prevention efforts? If you could only buy one book, that book would clearly be the Web Handling Handbook. You have heard me speak on this on many, many occasions. I will just summarize the book as this. It is the Bible of web handling. If you had money for a second book, that book would clearly be the Ultimate Role in Web Defect Troubleshooting Guide. It is an encyclopedia of most every defect you will ever see in your career. It also has a dictionary of terms that gives precision to our language by defining a preferred universal word. But it also covers aliases, so that if your plant calls a defect buckles, such as the metals industry, or floppy edges, such as in converting, we will suggest that you instead use the word baggy edges, because that is what most of the world calls that defect. More importantly, baggy would be a search term that you would use to find things. This also helps clear up misunderstandings between customer and supplier about defects and other issues. I have published 10 books, but I'm not trying to sell them to you because I only make $1 a piece as royalties. I am just listing and highlighting a couple more that might be useful. If you work a lot with rollers, you may wish to have the mechanics of rollers, even though the Web Handling Handbook has a decent chapter on that topic. If you work with winders or have trouble with wound roll defects, the Winding Machines Mechanics and Measurement book might be especially helpful. Finally, if you buy or sell machines, you really should have a copy of the Web Machine Buying Guide. There are many other books that could be useful, especially if you're working in web handling related areas, such as coding, for example. However, finding out what books there are would be daunting, unless you have a copy of the free and easy Roysum Library database that not only includes nearly 100 books and theses, it also includes some 4,000 other publications on web handling and related areas. We will talk more about the Roysum Library in an upcoming show, but for now, all you need to do is to get a free copy is to just email me. I should note, however, that many books are out of print. That doesn't mean that they aren't useful. In fact, some are priceless because they contain information found nowhere else. If you need one of these older books, you can often find them used on Abe Books. I hope you have enjoyed this overview of some of the most important sources for web handling knowledge. Stay tuned for next week's show, where we will show you how to find things via searchable databases. If you have a topic you would like to hear about, let me know in the comment section below. If you found anything interesting or useful here, please like and share and subscribe. See you next time.